Hey guys, it's Haunted House here. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is finally here. I put some time in with the game, and today I'm going to give you my thoughts about the good, the bad, and the interesting with this game. Also, we're going to answer the most important question: is this a good Call of Duty game, and should you pick it up? Without further ado, let's tune in, and as always, thank you for watching. First up, let's start with the good aspects of the game from my initial impressions. For me, there is nothing like a brand new Call of Duty game to sink your teeth into. There are new maps and mechanics to try out, new weapons and perk combinations, and the untapped potential of everything is unmatched when it comes to getting me hyped to play. I have to say, after so much time away from the franchise, it feels good to jump back into a Call of Duty launch again. I'm trying not to let the new game glow affect my view of the game and give me rose-tinted glasses on everything though, so there's definitely some negatives to talk about here soon, but keeping with the trend of good things, the maps. I was surprised because there were a lot of rumblings and concern in the community about the size of the maps and the variety on offer. The maps are all small to medium size, and some people were very concerned that they would feel samey after a while. The long-term effects of the devs focusing on smaller-sized maps remains to be seen, of course, but I have enjoyed playing thus far. There have definitely been some maps that I like more than others, and some that I definitely don't like, but maybe that's more down to the overall design and not necessarily the size of the map in my experience. Another great thing is the overall feel of the game. Movement feels responsive and has a large skill ceiling with omni-movement. I'm still not very good with it, but I'm excited to try it out more. The gunplay has that classic Call of Duty snappiness and response curve, and so far the level ranking and progression systems have kept me engaged and excited about what I will be able to do and use after each match. You gotta love all those level up, weapon rank, pop-ups, kill streaks, all these different things just like attacking your brain with dopamine, which is exactly what you want when you play a Call of Duty game for the first time. I think that Treyarch has done a great job of making a game that is fun to play. And that is something that sounds so simple, but it is often forgotten about when other devs are making other games. You could have the best systems in the world, the best servers or whatever, but if the game isn't fun, nobody's gonna stay engaged, nobody's gonna keep playing your game. But with every game, there are good things and bad things, and now it's time to highlight some of the bad things that stuck out to me in my initial impressions. There were a lot of server and connectivity issues up front when this game launched, which has become a common occurrence, unfortunately, for new releases. While I haven't played Call of Duty in a long time, I was a Destiny enjoyer who got burnt by taking launch day off more than once when new content released. So while I'm no stranger to login errors and dropped matches, it still sucks to see this happening. Especially when you factor in that COD has been a huge launch every year. The fact that servers are guaranteed to be a mess for at least the first few days is kind of disappointing. I understand there's only so much you can do and prepare for without having a massive player base all trying to access your server at the same time, but we have to have some data from previous years that can apply to this release to make things go smoother. As I previously mentioned, some of the maps have felt like duds so far. I'm willing to give them time to grow on me as I spend more time learning the layout and flow of each one, but so far there are definitely ones that I can see myself avoiding anytime they come up in map voting, if I'm being honest. Another thing I wanted to mention was the matchmaking. It's no secret that Call of Duty has been using skill-based matchmaking, and specifically engagement-optimized matchmaking, for years now. In a previous video, I mentioned how there were a few things that made me worried about the longevity of Black Ops 6, and this was chief among them. Based on my time with the game, EOMM seems very strong. I could tell after I had a good match that my next one was going to be against the sweatiest, most try-hard Adderall and G-Fueled infused monsters, which would lead to me promptly getting pummeled for a few rounds until I got put back in the dad queue. So we've talked about the good and the bad, now let's talk about the interesting. Things that aren't necessarily positive or negative, but somewhere in between and worthy of note. First off, let's talk about audio. There is an enhanced audio option in the settings that claims to improve the quality of spatial audio, so you can hear which direction enemies are in easier and pick up more of the subtle sounds over loud explosions and gunfire. I tried this out and I think it made a difference, but it was subtle enough of a change that I'm not sure if this was just a placebo effect. I would recommend checking it out if you are interested, and let me know what you think if you find that it does help you. I'd be interested in hearing that. Also, there's apparently a paid version of this that claims to make a better sound profile based on a video you upload of your head and ear shape. Not sure how your ear shape affects sound in earbuds, which the company behind the feature claims their system works with, but hey, I'm no ear scientist, so what the fuck do I know? I ultimately did not partake in this because I don't want to have to pay for allegedly better audio, and I don't need Big Brother knowing exactly what my ear holes look like. But hey, if you go that route, tell me in the comments below if it made a difference for you, I guess. Next up for interesting points, I have not checked out the campaign or zombies yet. I'm an old school COD dude, so I mostly focus on multiplayer, but I will eventually check them out when I feel like I need to switch it up a bit. Call of Duty campaigns are all over the top, Michael Bay-esque, turn your brain off and just enjoy type adventures. And I think that you can kind of appreciate that for what it is, or at least I hope I can. I've dabbled in zombies a little bit in the past, but I never really got into like going for high round challenges or completing Easter eggs or anything like that, but we'll see how things turn out. So overall, do I think that Black Ops 6 is going to be a good Call of Duty game, and should you pick it up if you're on the fence? From what I can see so far, I think that there is enough to keep you engaged if you love COD games. And with Warzone on the horizon and more stuff to roll out over time, I think that this game will have a lot of meat on the bones this year. So if you're looking for a meaty bone, this is it. Treyarch has put a lot of work into this game. And while I think there are some things that can be improved and will annoy me over time, the good far outweighs the bad in my opinion. So those are my thoughts on the game so far. I'm kind of interested to see how my opinion changes over time. In the comments below, please be sure to tell me if you plan on getting the game if you haven't, and if you have, tell me about your experience so far. Also, please feel free to do the YouTube things if you liked today's video and want to see more in the future. Thanks. And if you missed my video on skill-based matchmaking and engagement-optimized matchmaking, you can check it out here. Make sure to stay hydrated, eat well, take care of yourself and those around you. I'll see you next time, friends.